In this part, we are going to discuss about the nervous system from the chapter of neural control and coordination. So, first of all, control and coordination means it is here in the neural control and coordination chapter we will talk about the nervous system, but there is another chapter called the chemical control and integration or coordination. There we will talk about the endocrine system, which consists of the endocrine glands which produce hormones. Here we will only focus on the nervous system. So the nervous system. So nervous system is very rapid. That means the nerve impulse or the electric signals, they pass to this nervous system very fast. And so let's write down. This nervous system works through nerve impulses. Nerve impulses. These nerve impulses are the electric signals which pass through the nervous system. And this nervous system is made up of a special type of tissue called nervous tissue. Made up of nervous tissue. So we know that there are 4 types of tissue in human beings. That is, the first one is epidermal tissue, the second one is connective tissue, the third one is muscle tissue, and the fourth one is the nervous tissue. So the nervous system consists of, or it's made up of, the nervous tissue. The nervous tissue has 2 types of cells. The first one is the neurons or the nerve cells, and the second one is called as the ganglia or the neuroglial cells. So we have neurons and we also have neuroglial cells. These are the 2 types of tissue, 2 types of cells that we talk about when we usually say nervous tissue. First, let us talk about the nerve cells or the neurons. So for the nerve cells, or we'll write neurons. So neurons is the basic structural and fundamental unit of the nervous system. These neurons are the tiny cells that are present which are usually in the nervous system. And it's very important to remember that these neurons do not divide. So the nerve cells do not divide, and in the brain itself there are billions and billions of these neurons which are present, and they don't divide. So once they are formed, they lost their ability to divide. But whereas the neuroglial cells that we'll talk in later, those can divide. That is the basic difference between neurons and the neuroglial cells. So if we talk about the structure of the neurons, so we have these projections first. So this is the axon and something like this. So these are the projections, we label them, and this is the long axon, and then here we have these axon terminals and the synaptic knobs. So somewhat like this. So the neuron looks like this, and in the middle we have nucleus with the cytoplasm spread out, and also there are some certain bodies which are present in this cell body which are called as Nissls granules. Now we'll label it. So first, let's start with these processes, the projections. These are known as dendrites. Dendrites of the dendrons. So these are like little things which receive the message from this long axon. So we can label this as the axon. These are dendrites which are little projections that come out of the main cell body. So we can label the cell body as well. This whole thing is known as cyton or cell body, and this is the nucleus, and this is the cytoplasm. And these little bodies that we have drawn like little granules, these are known as Nissls granules. So these Nissls granules are named after the scientist who discovered it, and these Nissls granules are actually some fragments or masses of RER. RER is rough endoplasmic reticulum. So we know that this is a cell. So this neurons are also known as nerve cells. So they are cells. That's why we have the cell body or the cyton here. And in this cell body, the main organelles and the main structures which we normally find in a cell, those are all present over here. So we have the nucleus, we have the cytoplasm, and there are other organelles as well. But here we are more focusing on these granules. Those are Nissls granules, and these are actually the fragments or the little masses of RER. That is rough endoplasmic reticulum. And dendrites, nucleus, cyton, that is cell body, and this is the axon. And let's come to this part. These little nerves, these are known as these little ones are known as axon terminals. And this axon terminals, the endings of the axon terminals, little knob-like structures, the bulb-like structures, these are known as the synaptic knob. Synaptic knobs. These ones, the ends of the axon terminals. Endings of the axon terminals are known as synaptic knobs. And this is the axon. Now here near the axon there are present some sheath or some cells which are present. So we'll draw these here. This is like a small covering, like a sheath. This one is known as myelin sheath. So this covering this little protective structure, that is known as myelin sheath. And these myelin sheath are actually produced by Schwann cells. Produced by Schwann cells. These are some particular type of cells which actually give rise to the myelin sheath, which is present just along the axon. So we can't see this other part of this myelin sheath because it is actually behind this axon. So if you imagine like that, it is just behind the axon. That's why we can't see the other part of the myelin sheath. And the places or the areas of the axon where myelin sheath is not present, this part, myelin sheath is not present, these places are known as nodes of Ranvier. Nodes of Ranvier. So these are the parts of the neuron that we talk about. The important parts are axon, cell body, the nucleus, Nissls granules, dendrites, nodes of Ranvier, the axon, that is the main long part, the myelin sheath which is produced by Schwann cells. We also have the axon terminals and the synaptic knobs. So this is the basic structure of neuron. Now this neuron can be divided into certain categories on some basis. So we'll talk about that here. First, neurons can be divided on the basis of the presence or absence of the myelin sheath, this particular myelin sheath. If the myelin sheath is present, they are known as myelinated neurons. And if the myelin sheath is not present, they are known as non-myelinated neurons. So this is a very simple classification of these neurons, very basic one. Next one is on the basis of where the nerve impulse is traveling, from which one to which part. So from which area of the body and to which area of the body. The first one is the sensory neurons. Sensory neurons is where the nerve impulse or the electric signals, they travel from CNS to target organ or the sense organ. So CNS is a central nervous system which consists of brain and spinal cord. This CNS, when the electric signals or the nerve impulse, when they travel from CNS to the sense organ, from the brain or the spinal cord to the sense organs. So sense organs, we talk about the ear, the nose, the eyes, and the skin, and all the sense organs that we have. When the nerve impulse or the electric signal, when it travels from CNS to sense organ, that type of neurons are known as sensory neurons. Other one is known as motor neurons. Motor neurons. Motor neurons is where the nerve impulse travels from the sense organ to CNS. So it's a bit different than the sensory neurons. It's reverse. So now here what happens, from the sense organ to the CNS. So let's take an example. For example, you touched a hot bowl or a hot object. Then suddenly you take away the hand from the hot object. That is because you touch the hot object with your hand. That means hand is the skin, and skin is also a sense organ, right? So from the sense organ to your brain or the spinal cord, the brain will know that you have touched a hot object, and you suddenly remove your hand from the hot object. That is because of the motor neurons. So from the sense organ to the brain or the spinal cord, which is normally known as CNS. And so this is about on the basis of the way the nerve impulse or the electric signal travels from which part to which part. Also, so we'll write that here. These neurons can be divided into 3 categories on the basis of the structure. The first one is unipolar neurons. Unipolar neurons is where this is a very basic kind of neurons. These kind of neurons are present in the embryos. So these unipolar type of neurons, this is where there is only one process. So what is process? Process means like this. So like dendrites. So in unipolar neurons, the axon and the dendrite dendrites, they arise from the same point. So there is only one side of all these processes. Next one is bipolar neurons. As the name suggests, there are two processes. That means dendrites, two processes will be there, and then axons will be there, and the axon terminals also two processes will be there. So here what happens, the axon and the dendrites, they arise from different sides, and these bipolar neurons can be seen in the retina of the eye. So this is the sixth one, and the seventh one is known as multipolar neurons. So this is the most common kind of neuron that we talk about. So the neuron that we have drawn here, this is actually an example of a multipolar neuron. So here in multipolar, there are multiple processes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 processes for the dendrites, and we have numerous number of these axon terminals. So this is the most common type of neuron. So this is about the types of neurons on different bases. So this is on the basis of the presence of myelin sheath. These two, these are on the basis of where the signal is coming from. So where if it comes from CNS to sense organ, it's known as sensory neuron. If it comes from sense organ to CNS, it's the motor neuron. And also we have also discussed the unipolar, bipolar and multipolar neurons. So multipolar is the most common. It's almost found everywhere. So this is the multipolar type of neuron. Now let's talk about the neuroglial cells. So we have learned about the neurons till now. This is the first kind of cell which is present in the nervous system. Now let's talk about the neuroglial cells. So now let's talk about the neuroglial cells. Neuroglial cells. So these neuroglial cells can also be divided into three categories. The first one is known as astroglial cells or astrocytes. So cyte means cell, that's why astroglial cells or astrocytes. These astroglial cells, what is the function of these astroglial cells? They actually hold the neurons, hold these nerve cells at a distance. So that means these astroglial cells, so these glial cells or the neuroglial cells, they are the cells that connect two neurons. So they are the small little cells that are present between neurons. So the first one is astroglial cells. They hold the neurons at a distance. That means, for example, in one neuron or in one set of neurons, the nerve impulse is traveling. These astroglial cells, they prevent the nerve impulse from going from one set of neurons to another set of neurons. So they prevent the mixing of those nerve impulses. And also these astroglial cells, they help these neurons to be close near the blood vessels, so that the transfer of the blood can take place. Blood supply can come to the neurons. The second one is known as osteodendrocytes. So the second one is known as osteodendroglial cells. So osteodendroglial cells. So this is the second type of second type of neuroglial cells that we talk about. The common example for this kind of osteodendroglial cells is the Schwann cells. Schwann cells, which actually produce the myelin sheath. The third type of neuroglial cells that we talk about are called as microglial cells. As the name suggests, micro means very small. So these cells are really tiny. So they are very small and they are actually phagocytic. They are phagocytic in nature. So phagocytosis or phagocytic means it's a process when a cell engulfs or ingests any particles or any other cell. So it's a eating of a cell or cell eating. So cell can eat other particles, other foreign particles, or a cell itself. So this is phagocytic in nature, microglial cells, and they're very small as well. So here we have taken a look at the three major kinds of neuroglial cells: astroglial cells, osteodendroglial cells, and microglial cells. So in this video we discussed about the nervous system. We have also looked at the neurons, the structure of neurons and the different kinds of neurons, that is myelinated, non-myelinated, sensory, motor, unipolar, bipolar and multipolar. Also we learned about the neuroglial cells, which actually are the cells which are present between some neurons. So between neurons they are present and they have various functions. So astroglial cells, they hold the neurons at a distance. Osteodendroglial cells, we have taken a look at that, and microglial cells. So these are so in this video we discussed about the nervous system, which consists of neurons and neuroglial cells.